You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Welcome back to the Care What People Think podcast with your hosts, Will and Ryan. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics because it's a very fun thing to complain about and bond over.
And you have a lot of them.
Well, yeah, but we're going to take more of like no, not educational, because this isn't an educational podcast. More of a analytical perspective about how you can meet people that aren't always just walking red flags to better your mental health, because you don't want to surround yourself with the wrong people. And I didn't have any other segue.
Don't be like Will, basically. Make sure to do exactly what Will doesn't.
Yeah,
honestly, do you think there's a bigger walking red flag than yourself?
That's crazy. No, actually.
Okay, fair.
No, there's not. But starting off the episode, something that we're proud of. Obviously, I'm introducing this episode this week, so something I'm proud of, which first of all, didn't even I just realized I was the one introducing this episode, so normally I have like a little note written down.
Red flag.
But I'm gonna
Procrastination.
Say nah. Procrastination. I've gotten so many episodes written out. Notes.
Whoa,
this guy hasn't.
You're doing a script. My eyes are closed. I am fully naked in my room. Lights off.
It's COVID for him. Lights off is crazy.
Dude, it is. I mean, I'm not looking at anything, bro. Straight from the heart right here.
Straight from the heart.
Anyway, wait.
Okay.
Will, what are you proud of?
I'm proud of, honestly, because yesterday, I don't want to say yesterday, but you know what? I'm going to say, no, actually, I was going to say yesterday because yesterday we kind of had Paris, me, and her friends kind of had a pool party type thing where we were outside in the pool for 6 hours, which is the longest time. It made me realize
longest time Will has been outside
as a kid. Okay. You know what? Actually, that's not even that far off because I work 9 to 6 inside, and then I come home and I have an hour of sunlight left. But being at the pool for 6 hours makes you realize holy shit, as a kid, when you'd be like, oh my gosh, I was at the pool for 2 hours. Bro, hours used to have so much meaning in it as a kid versus now I go through 8 of them at work every day. So hours fly by because
I think
it's
also,
actually not that much time.
No, but also as a kid, you have so much energy that 2 hours is basically our 8 hours. So we are okay sitting around a pool for 8 hours where kids are running around and kicking each other for 2 hours. And then want to go take a nap. So.
No, but that's, well, either way, I was going to say that is something that I'm proud of, but at work, which I don't know when this episode actually gets posted, if I'm still going to be in the same boat, but I got so far ahead on content that I post because I basically I run a social media accounts for a company. And so I have to send an email out 3 times a week. I have to post a reel/TikTok/YouTube short once a week, and then post on Instagram and Facebook twice a week, and then post the long form of YouTube once a week. So it's basically social media is 3 times a week, and email is 3 times a week. And then obviously I have to make the thumbnails for all the social media posts. So it's kind of posting a lot. I officially have schedule posted, all the content's recorded, edited, done, and scheduled through Meta Business Suite and everything, 2 weeks out. I'm 2 weeks ahead fully on work, which is crazy because if I keep this up, then the goal for me is to get so far ahead. Yeah, I can just sit there and be
if you have 60 years of work done, so that takes you into your 80s, you can just retire next week.
Yeah. So I'm pumped about that because last week was long, but I got a ton done. I'm losing.
Perfect segue because
I'm losing this situation.
I'm not trying to cut you off, but you know how you were just complaining? One of the biggest red flags is a consistent negative attitude towards things. Basically what we
that's
just
facts.
did.
Oh,
yeah,
I have that written
facts.
down too.
I know. I'm kidding. But I did want to segue into that because we want to talk about red flags, not just about your work week, even though I do care about that.
So that's a red flag because he clearly was lying. about saying he
That's
cared
why I
about my work
paused.
week. So that's another red flag. You can watch out for that.
So, anyway, right back to it. It's very important to surround yourself with positive influences, right, Will?
Yeah.
I think I've talked
Why'd you
about this before.
Why'd you ask me like
I
I
just
was
keep
like
asking you because I'm trying to be sarcastic with like everything. So I've talked about this before, but a lot of my coworkers, I work in the service industry, but a lot of them can be like negative at times. And when I'm around these negative people, I feel like less motivated to work and more dead inside, to be honest. And
Facts.
it's kind of a funny question that I want to ask you, but if you, okay, this is like really stupid, but I want to see how you respond. If you had a vacation fully free, right?
Nope.
Drinks, food,
No deal.
no
deal.
Well, I didn't even ask the
No deal.
question. What? No, I was gonna
Sorry,
say.
I thought you were Howie. No deal.
I was gonna say, if you can, what would you, how would you approach that? Would you find anything negative with that, or would you be like, yeah, free vacation, I get free food, free flights, free housing, whatever, or would you be like, oh, it's to the Dominican Republic, or oh, it's gonna be
Wait,
too
so
hot
you're
and
saying
it's
like
that time. Like, would
like
you
a
be that type
hypothetical
of person?
vacation?
Yeah, would you be that person? Let's just say you were like on the Wheel of Fortune and they were like, you just won a free vacation. And I'm going to actually ask you this. It's going to be more specific. You get a 7-day vacation to the Caribbean, somewhere in the Caribbean, and you get free food, free housing, free flights. Would you, in this moment, be like, yeah, I'm so excited. There's no negativity, like there's no negative actions towards it, or vice versa? Would there be a couple?
See, it's funny you say that because in the moment,
I knew it.
yesterday.
I knew it.
Listen. Yesterday, I just found out that the PTO I earn at my job, I earn 1 day of PTO per quarter or per month. So I earn 3 PTO days per quarter, which is kind of ass. So like, I couldn't even go on a 7-day whatever. Like, I actually couldn't and like take that many days off because I have not even earned that many days off. But like, if you're saying like you want a free trip to the Caribbean, blah blah blah, whatever. So like, there's the logistical thing, but like, I wouldn't complain about the location. But I think if I won it, I would give it to someone I know that would like it because I couldn't use it as of right now. But I wouldn't complain like, man, I'm trying to go somewhere like in Europe, not to the Caribbean. Like I wouldn't do that because even if I did want to go to Europe and I won something to somewhere else, and it was like a ticket, I'd like gift it to someone that I know.
Well, what I was trying to get at, right, is let's just say you asked people in society this. I feel like this is totally not this has not been experimented on or anything, but I feel like if I asked 1 or 10 people in a row, right, I think 1 or 2 on the minimum side, or like not even on average, but at least 1 or 2 people would complain or have something to complain about, which shows you a lot about like society and people and just having that negative attitude towards something. Like for you specifically, like you need to have that money towards rent, so that's not negativity, but that's just like being realistic. Where what I was trying to get at is the fact that I think people can pick at any situation and find something negative, and those people are kind of sus because that's crazy. That's crazy. In my opinion, I think that's pretty crazy. So
no, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's a good example.
Yeah.
The other thing I have listed, which I kind of what drove me crazy. I guess these kind of go in the same. I wrote 2 bullet points down, but they're kind of the same thing. People that are complacent. Oh my gosh. Basically, if you don't know, big word. Actually, let me just look up the definition of complacent, because the way that I kind of had it envisioned is like people that are just okay with like shitty situations or taking shitty situations, and they don't like, there's no motivation for change. Like if something sucks and they deal with it, they're okay with dealing with it. That, in my opinion, is a fucking huge red flag, because
it's different than like depression or like having like low self-esteem, because I fully agree. I mean, it could totally stem from that, but complacent people, in my opinion, are those people.
It says showing smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements.
Yeah, so
uncritical satisfaction.
That's so like depression and like low self-esteem is what I was trying to get at. Like that could be one of the factors, but then when like that's a full-on like personality trait, and kind of like you said, where like you just don't have motivation to do anything, or like
Yeah.
feel stuck, like that's very annoying. So my ex was
Oh, I was just gonna say like an example. Like I looked up complacent example because now I'm wondering if the voters are too complacent to change. I feel like most of the time it's like you're too lazy to change. That's probably not what complacent means, but like that's crazy. But
It's
like
not
for me, that
crazy.
pisses me off because like if you're too like obviously everyone's gonna be lazy about some things they don't want to change because everyone has shit going on in life. But like, bro, if you are literally like for me getting a 9 to 5 job and you're complacent with like you're okay making someone else's dream come true for 60 years and then you get maybe 20 years to relax, that I don't understand how people can be okay with. I can understand like the separation of like you like having your work life be separate from like your friend or social life. That I can see. But like the whole office, like clock in, clock out, like the kind of stereotype of like the 50s and 60s, that I'm just not a fan. And maybe that's because I like being so creative that I want to just surround myself with other like really intense creatives that I find that annoying. So I don't know if that's even like a thing, but like if you want to do something or change something,
Do it.
if you want to do something, yeah, do it. If you're like surrounded by people that are like making up excuses like, oh, you can't do that because XYZ, or oh, that's going to take a lot of money that you don't have, or that's going to take a lot of people
You know
to
what
know,
makes me so
which
mad?
I don't know. It's like making excuses. What?
You know what makes me mad is when literally they just can't make a decision. Like they literally say to the like in their head, in their own head, go, I'm not capable enough to make this decision, which is complete bullshit. Everyone is. But they are so ingrained with that idea that they can't make that decision, and that pisses me off. From either gender, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When I'm close with
Man's building
I'm
up.
gonna rip one, dude. Like I'm gonna rip somebody.
Man's
a new
gonna.
one. I'm gonna fart, dude. I'm gonna fart all over someone, dude. I'm gonna rip one right all over someone.
That's what it sounded like.
It did. It did. I meant to say like rip somebody a new one, but I'll rip one right on their face.
Rip one.
I think that's better. Dude, that should be a better like that's a way better saying than rip somebody a new one. I'm gonna rip one right on someone. Oh man.
You just walk over to someone just pissed.
Or even go up to them and just take it literally, just be like, or not literally, just say it how it is. I'm gonna rip one right on you, bro. Holy shit.
But
okay.
yeah, what I
was getting at is, when I don't want to like out females here, but a lot of like dates that I've been on, or like even when I'm close with like a friend that's a girl, they always are too scared to make a decision. Not always, sorry. Most of the time. At least with my own understanding.
Yeah,
like,
that's what they tell you.
Like, yeah, it's whether it's like going out to eat, or whether it's like literally as simple as what time are we gonna go leave for something. I'm like, just tell me what you want. And honestly, when a girl asks me, I tell them straight up. I'm not even kidding. I'm not that guy to be like, well, I don't care. I just want you to be happy. No, I say it how it is, and I think that makes both of us happier.
That's pretty true, just because I feel like when like I first met you, you were a lot more in the gray area of like, oh, when do you want to hang out? And then you were more like, oh, I'm free on this day, but like you wouldn't give a time. Now, literally, like when we decide like when to record podcasts or whatever, it's Ryan's literally like, want to start at like 11? Want to start at like 3? Like he gives a time. So I think, yeah, you just like someone that can make decisions.
I think also
like,
just like proactive, like not the case of just like sitting around and being like, yeah, it'll happen at some point. I would rather like
that's complacent.
We're
right?
both we
pretty
both
sure
have
that's complacent.
Like very very full work days, and like I'm not saying it's super hard work days, but like obviously we have a lot of stuff going on in our life, so might as well tell you a time in a day and make the most of it, you know?
Yeah. No, that's really funny. We basically, I really don't even know the word complaints. I'm pretty sure we kind of somewhat talked about it, but the last one I kind of had for like this first point is, bro, people that have no pride in what they do pisses me the fuck off. Mm-hmm. If you are going to do something, again, I'm a very big overachiever. I'm the type of person that's like, no matter what I do, if it's a school assignment, if it's a task for work, if it's something in like a hobby, no matter what I do, I'm gonna do as like 100% in it, because I just hold myself to a really high standard of like, oh, I'm doing this, so I'm gonna put my all into it. Even though I don't like it, I don't have to be like as realistic. Like my girlfriend, she's much more realistic, where like if she's like, oh, I have this grade, I don't even need to do this assignment, she won't do the assignment because it'll
Good.
still like get her the grade. That is something I lack in, where I'm being realistic like that. So that's obviously a weakness in certain aspects, because it's like I overspend time in things that don't need that time. But like, bro, I'm surrounded by a ton. That's why I hated college, because I was only surrounded by people that had like no pride in anything they did.
And and that's also like, you're just like teeing me up for like segues, but like honesty within yourself, man. Like if you aren't honest to yourself and to others, you're never gonna succeed in life. And I mean, I'm saying this, I'm 22 years old, broke, serving. So tell me who's really winning here. But okay, to be honest, if you can't, to be honest, to be honest, dishonesty is not very cool. The reason why is because you can catch yourself in the lies, you can catch somebody else in the lies, and you just realize that like you or that person is just not going to succeed by constantly just eating these lies like every single day. I mean, noticing that somebody's stories that don't add up like is one of the biggest red flags for me. Like I had I wouldn't call him a friend, but back in high school, this dude would lie about every single thing. And after he started doing it for a while, I was like, you know what? This is just a personality trait at this point. Like, I'm not going to change him. And so this can obviously mess up like the trust between two individuals and make it very difficult to build a connection, obviously.
Yeah.
And I've seen this in so many people, and I get it. Sometimes you have to lie so you're not embarrassed. You have to lie that you, like, to trick yourself into thinking that you're being honest. Sure, like we all do it from time to time, whatever. But like when it's a full-on personality trait and you really do think you're being honest, that's when that's crazy.
Well, in my opinion, I think it's worse if you lie to yourself more than you lie to others. Because I hate to be that guy. Bring it back to soccer. There's only one person on the field that anything matters to, and it's the ref. And that's kind of like yourself. You could go throughout life realistically and lie to a bunch of people, and it kind of doesn't matter as much. But if you are lying to yourself about if you're lying all the time being like, oh, I'm mentally okay, and you're totally not okay, it is totally okay to not be okay. But like accepting that is important, and it's really hard to do that. So like I would rather see someone struggle at lying
to
others
I want to ask
lying
you a
to
question.
themselves. Yeah.
If you found me lying every single day,
okay, well
would
that's
you be
like
my friend?
No, because that's like
But so it kind of
pathological liar. I guess like
I think
okay, maybe it's
just
not as important. Yeah, maybe it's not more important, but like it is important to like not lie to yourself. I think that's a huge thing when people don't accept like the truth, which is very easy to say because it's hard to like process and accept things that happen, because all different types of traumatic events happen to people differently and they have a different perspective on the event. Like an event could happen to two people in the exact same way and they process it differently. So like it could go in a lot of directions. But I know a lot of people in my college were so like, they were lying to themselves so hard where it was like actually just so dangerous, where they were like, oh yeah, I'm like totally fine. Like for example, I literally knew people in some of my classes and they would be like, oh, I'm like the best in this class. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say which English. Bro, not only were they average, they were like the worst in the class at that class. And you can't have that kind of like what do you call it? Like I was about to say interrogation. Like
interior design.
No, like
integrated.
Ignorant. There we go. No, you can't have that kind of ignorance if you're trying to. Oh. You can't have that kind
of. Sorry, keep going. I'm just on a roll over here.
Enter the conversation. This guy.
Nice.
But no, and then There was that one
internal.
with the. This one is not even like a personality trait or anything. This one, I'm sorry, if you do this, fuck off. Like, this pisses me off. People who put their following and analytics in their bio on Instagram. Literally fall in a hole, dude. Oh my gosh. I have a, goes to Instagram account. Oh, who's this? Checks following, checks followers. Oh, they have like 50K on Instagram. Oh, but in the bio, they have 60 million on TikTok. I don't give a shit. Bro, if you do art, the art should speak for itself. You should not have to explain your success in art, in my opinion. Like, if you're gonna say,
No,
like, oh, I'm a TikToker, I saw that like three times last week.
There's a difference between marketing and then just being selfish and full of yourself, and then just like thinking you're better than everyone. That's completely
Well,
different.
even like marketing wise, I'm more on the page of like, if you're having a bio for like, give me a company, give me a product, just throw out any product.
OnlyFans.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
for real.
yeah.
Xbox.
Okay,
console.
so if you were gonna make, say you're any console company, you're gonna, in your Instagram bio, you're not gonna put how many units you've sold worldwide. That is a marketing statistic, but like, it doesn't matter because it looks, in my opinion, it makes it seem
smaller
like
brand. I kind of get it, dude. Because
no.
I do,
No.
because dude, if you're like, okay, this many products sold, that means that you're really happy about that. Like, not even necessarily a goal, but you've done something. You've made a little bit of an impact on the world. Like, even for you.
No,
like,
give me another product. Give me another
even
product.
for you on YouTube. Even on you with YouTube. If you hit 100K subscribers, would you put?
Yeah,
that
I'm not
on...
putting that in my bio because that sounds
No,
tacky.
not on your bio, but also like, you would put it on your story. You would like market it. In a way.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like just the Instagram bio specifically. Like when people literally put like I've literally seen people put their.
I'm lost. I'm too much of an old man when it comes to this stuff, bro.
Bro, I literally, people in their bio will have their following on Snapchat, then below following on TikTok, then below following on YouTube, and I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter because
refresh my Instagram right now.
It's all you could have.
I'm just kidding. No, don't look.
If you have like 500K subs, I think the reason it pisses me off now is because like subscription following numbers mean less than they did 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was very impressive to have 1 million subscribers. But if you have 1 million subscribers now, that means less because people don't use the subscriptions tab as much.
That's true.
What matters more is like how many views you actually get per video if you're keeping an engaged audience. And that is just so much information. You can't really say that in a bio. But I was just going to say,
Speaking
like, if
of
I have a
engaged
company,
audiences.
you just, oh, yeah, everyone's listening is not that. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, a little bit.
The nail on the head. We went a couple minutes over. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, super, like, strict about, like, abnormally strict about that. But I just think it's stupid. That's like selling your art piece and being like, trust me, it's good. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you telling me it's good? I'm looking
I get
at
that.
it.
Yeah, you gotta let the reviews and like the product speak for itself, for sure.
Exactly.
I get that.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway, okay, if somehow you've made it through that rant, which I don't know if you have, we're about 23 minutes through this podcast episode, and I wanted to try a little game with you listeners right now.
Oh shit.
Where you know how we talked about dishonesty. Yeah. So I want to play two truths and a lie with you, and I want you to send in your own submission. In the submission column, I think once you click the episode, you can kind of see like a little comment section. Basically do two truths and a lie. Don't label them, obviously. And me and Will be hopefully looking through these two truths and a lie, and I want to see if you can gaslight us into seeing something is like real. So obviously, we won't know you as a viewer. You could even have like a sentence of, "Hey, I'm Michael from Australia. I'm 23." If you want to do that, or you could literally just put us in the dark and just give us the three things. Because I personally want to see if our viewers are dishonest and have red flag tendencies. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But
wait, so you want them to write 3 sentences, and then we just have to guess?
I
want to guess how they formulated the sentence.
Yeah, like I want to see if they can like really gaslight us. Like they could say like 3 of like the craziest things, you know, and if two of them are actually truths, then I don't know.
I'm
Fair
down.
enough. I don't know. I just
Okay,
want
so
that.
we're
That would be
actually
kind of
saying-
fun.
No, that sounds lit. I did not know you had that idea teed up. That's lit.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have anything else to add before I wrap it up?
No, that was also why I was going on kind of long, because that was like my last point. So
No
I wasn't
worries.
sure if. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, make sure to tune into the Care What People Think podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all other platforms. And please leave a review or rating to help us out, because it means the world. And if you're going to listen to one thing throughout this episode, it should be that you should choose the people you are around wisely and don't let them hold you back, in my opinion. So these red flags in people obviously don't define the person, but you shouldn't be the individual changing them. Instead, they should be proactive about the change that needs to happen in their life. Also, that goes for you too. We talked about in this episode how being honest to yourself and all these things makes you the better version of yourself, and it only helps in the future. And remember, care what people think, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3.